I'm really grateful for this opportunity to speak to you today about topics related to health and wellness. It's what I have chosen to do since I retired more than 10 years ago. Actually, it's probably about, maybe about 5 years ago that I retired. So I just want to express gratitude for the opportunity to share my knowledge and my experiences with you as part of the Mental Hygiene Initiative for Suffolk County employees. And so, whatever department you work for, welcome. We're going to explore some daily habits that you can do to improve your health, particularly doing a wellness detox. And I'm going to share some very simple routines and some of my favorite essential oils that will help with this. And what I wanted to do is just start with a brief overview of exactly what is an essential oil and why would we want to use it. So an essential oil is distilled from the plants, the leaves, the flowers, the bark, the stems, the roots, all different parts of the plant. They're naturally occurring. It's a volatile aromatic compound. It's nature's chemistry. And so I want you to, write this down if you're taking notes, right? Essential oils are a message carrying molecule. It has a message for your cell. Now, the essential oil is produced by the plant as part of its own defensive recovery mechanisms. It's also part of its communication, right? It attracts pollinators and it repels pests. And it helps the plant protect it from environmental threats. It helps it recover from microbial or fungal attacks. And it helps with this reproductive communication. And so those three things are what we use them for, right? Protection from environmental threats, recovery or healing, and improved communication. And I'm talking about intercellular communication, how your cells talk to each other to get something done. And, I love to, just teach people what an essential oil can do for the body. So let's just review, well, how do we actually use them? And so the first thing you notice about essential oils is that they have a smell, right? It's aroma, right? An aromatic compound. You breathe it in, or you use it to clean the airs, you open your airways, maybe it'll help affect your mood, right? I love diffusing essential oils because I can quickly change my mood and the mood of anybody in the room. Just by breathing in that essential oil, we have the opportunity to interact with the chemistry of the brain and shift perception and response. We can use them topically. This is very well studied, well founded, right? We apply the essential oil to a very particular area of our skin, and we're targeting that area. So if I have, tension in my neck, I'm going to apply it to the back of my neck. If I have a headache, I'm going to apply it right to the area where I have that tension. If you have back pain, knee pain, a bellyache, wherever it is, you're going to apply that oil directly on there. And then, taking essential oils internally is really an amazing way, right? Essential oils are basically food in another form. And so you're going to want to make sure that it has this supplement backs label, right? That means that it is rated for internal use by the FDA. But I will caution you that not all essential oils are created equal. And so you're going to want to make sure that you see that supplement backs label and that you know the quality of the oil before you use it, right? And not just for internal use, right? We want to make sure we're really careful for internal use, but no matter what you're doing, whether you're breathing it in or you're applying it to your skin, if it's on you, it's in you, right? And so we do want to make sure that we have this commitment to purity, right? Now, how fast do essential oils work? Well, this is kind of nature's chemistry, right? So within, 22 seconds, they can find that chemistry in the brain. Within 2 minutes, it's found in the bloodstream, and within 22 minutes, it's in every single cell of the body, right? And so it's extremely fast. And when you're talking about shifting health and wellness in the moment, fast is good. As I could say, when I was, recovering from surgery and using oils to manage my pain, or when you have digestive upset, you want something that's going to be pure, potent, and fast. So let me give you a little example of how quick and how potent it can be, right? So this is a blood sample, right? And so this blood sample was taken. You notice the cells are kind of clumped together. They're a little misshapen. And if I was showing you the live slide of this, you could see that they're really not moving around very well. They're a little lethargic and just kind of, not doing anything. So what they did was they put an essential oil on the bottom of this person's foot and then took another blood sample. And this is what it looked like afterwards, right? And so you could see each individual cell round and clear. It's moving with activity and energy, right? So on the left, this is what free radical damage does to your cells. And when we neutralize the free radical damage, this is the possibility that we have on the right. And I want to remind you, right, we have these dramatic changes, but it's immediate, right? Remember, this was 30 seconds after applying the essential oil, they took another blood sample, right? And so it's incredibly potent, right? Every single cell in your body has the opportunity to experience this. So that's a good kind of foundation for us to begin our detox conversation, right? We're going to talk a little bit today about the basics. And I want to start with, well, what are some of the common myths, right? And so some people will be like, well, I eat good, mostly, so I don't really need to detox, right? Have you said that to yourself? Like, well, no, what do I need to do one for, right? But you might think that it's too hard or too time consuming, right? We're very busy lives. How the heck am I going to fit that in, right? Maybe you think it's expensive, or, it's about starving yourself, right? Who wants to do that? I'm like, not me. And, maybe you've tried some in the past and you did all this work and it felt like such a heavy thing, lots of energy, lots of commitment, and what? Did you really feel any better, right? So, I'm going to try to explain to you some simple ways that are not hard. They're not time consuming. It's not expensive at all. And it's about eating the foods that are good for your body, not about starving yourself. And so, but I do want to start with that first common myth. I don't really need to do it. So why would we want to do a detox periodically? Right? So the first is your digestive system is kind of like a processing plant right inside your body. It pulls in the food, it pushes it through organs and structures, and this is where all this processing is happening. And we need to extract the fuel from our food, right? And the digestive system will discard everything else, right? And so we have a lot of accessory organs, the pancreas, the gallbladder, liver, right? They are facilitating the process so that the food is more absorbable, right? And because you are burning fuel, there will always be what I will call ash. And so the reason we want to do a cleanse is because we want to support the chimneys of the body, right? Like we have these chimneys that release energy and, are part of how we create fuel, create energy in the body, right? So we want to make sure the primary chimneys are working and, prevent overuse of the secondary chimneys, right? Like the skin is an example of a secondary chimney, right? When the body, right, the liver, the kidneys, the colon might be overwhelmed, things start popping out of the skin, right? The skin is an eliminating organ, but it's there, it's like really big. It's your largest organ, and so it has the opportunity to get rid of things that maybe the other organs are having trouble doing. Does that make sense so far? You guys all with me? One of the other reasons we want to do a cleanse is because we end up sometimes with our diet it will compromise the microbiome that's inside your digestive tract. And so when you have a compromised microflora, you have issues with your immune system, right? Maybe not functioning optimally. You might have no energy. I love this picture of the guy like, oh my God, did you ever feel that way after lunch, right? Or maybe you're just feeling that digestive discomfort because whatever's going on in there is really, they're not having fun. And, you might develop some sensitivities or even just these chronic GI challenges that happen. One of the final reasons I want to point out, besides that we want to make sure everything's working optimally, is that your digestive health is related to your immune function, right? 70% of your immune system lies in the walls of your digestive tract. We also know that nearly every brain controlling chemical is produced in the digestive system, right? The hormones, the neurotransmitters, things like serotonin and dopamine, right? Dopamine's your happy drug, right? And so it's going to affect your mood. And so when we improve our digestive health, we are going to have a huge increase in our immune function, in how we perceive life, and how we respond to it. And so it's really important to do a periodic detox. And the healthier your diet, maybe the less frequently you need to do it, right? If you're burning, really good wood like cherry or mahogany, burns really clean, right? It takes a long time to get it going, but once it's burning, it burns clean with very little ash, as opposed to, think of burning like twigs or newspaper, right? It goes up in a flash, right? That's the quick energy of sugar. It goes up in a flash, but it leaves an enormous amount of ash residue. And so we have to kind of clean all that up. And depending on what your diet looks like, you might need to do it, twice a year, maybe 3 times a year, right? And, it's like, think of when you use that chimney or your chimney, right? It needs to be cleaned out every once in a while and remove all that soot and ash. So let's get into the basics of a detox, right? And so it's basically 3 phases. You want to activate, reset, and renew, okay? And so we're going to talk a little bit about each of these phases. But overall, what we're doing is when we begin a detox, right, there are opportunist fungus, bacteria, viruses that just live inside of us. They're there. And, we're constantly battling. Your digestive system is battling between good and bad bacteria, right? It needs some of it to help break down the processes, but, there's other ones that are just kind of hanging around looking for an opportunity to hijack what's going on in there. And so we want to stop eating the things that help them thrive, right? Sugar, things that are acidic, meats. These are things that help them. It's like feeding or putting more fuel on their fire, right? We want to help balance our pH levels. We want to kind of reestablish the good bacteria in the gut. And then we want to go in, like once we have the right terrain, we want to go in and kill, whatever it is, whether it's yeast or bacteria or whatever is causing some dysfunction or discomfort. We want to go in and kill it. And then we want to be able to clear it all out as it's dying off and get it out of the body fast. And while we're doing this, we want to just make sure we're addressing the emotional terrain, right? Because, there's things that happen as we're going to war, right? The good bacteria and the bad bacteria, right? We're starving the soldiers of the opposing side. And so, we have this opportunity to conquer them easier, right? I don't want a strong army fighting against me, right? I want my army stronger. And so that's kind of what we're doing, is we're kind of creating a condition where it'll be easy to kind of kill them off, wipe them out, and restore what I need in there as a good bacteria, right? As we're doing these 3 phases, we want to just make sure we're hitting all the pathways, right? Your GI pathway, your endocrine system, and some cellular detoxing, right? Cells sometimes get things clogged in their receptor sites. And it, you know, when the cell stops functioning optimally, then it's going to create dysfunction in whatever system it lives in. So what are some simple things that we can do? So the first is we want to, you know, go out with the bad and in with the good, right? And so this is the simplest way I can say it, right? We want to eat less crap, right? Carbonated drinks, refined sugar, artificial sweeteners and colors, and processed foods, right? We want to just get them out of our diet. And we want to eat more real food, right? 80% being fresh and natural, raw, even better, right? So fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, a good source of omega-3 fatty acids, and drink plenty of water, right? So it's really that simple, right? Like we're going to just, you know, move, you know, harmful things out and enjoy more of the good. So what does that actually look like? So, you know, get rid of white, right? You know, white flours that make up breads. You know, if your bread doesn't spoil in 3 days, well, then it's got something in it that's helping it not spoil. So, you know, you should start to wonder, well, what kind of preservatives am I bringing into my body, right? They're going to be in your body till you get them out of your body, right? Sugary drinks, you know, sodas, liquor. I know that's a tough one for a lot of people, but, you know, you could do anything for 3 to 4 weeks, right? What makes it simple is if you plan your meals in advance and prep all your food so that it's just an easy process for the week or two that you're going to change your diet a little bit. And get rid of the things that are temptations. Don't leave that box of Entenmann's cake on the counter. Don't have ice cream in the freezer that might tempt you, right? And make sure you have a support system, right? Are there people around? Maybe it's a good idea to have somebody doing this with you so that, you know, you guys can be accountability partners and maybe, you know, share the responsibility for making some of the different meals. I know also, you know, a vision board can really help, right? Like, what do you want to get out of this? Why are you doing it, right? Let's always, you know, I think of this all the time that we can't judge something by how we feel going into it. We have to judge it by the value of how we feel when we're done with it. And so sometimes we need to kind of be forward thinking when you're doing a detox, because I want to feel better. I want to have more energy. I want to clean out my system and have, you know, maybe one of the side benefits is that you lose a little bit of weight, right? It's also really good to include essential oils. We'll talk about that in a little while. And it's important to have the right vitamins and minerals in your diet every single day. And of course, every day, you know, you should have some exercise. You know, it's just a really good idea. Another thing that I do when I coach people to do a detox is just, we want to alkaline the body, right? Acidic creates a lot of energy for us, but it also creates conditions where other things thrive, you know, things like candida or cancer. You know, they can't live in an alkaline environment. And so just by shifting your pH levels, particularly first thing in the morning, is a really good, simple, easy step that you can do, even if you didn't do anything else, doing your morning elixir, right? So it's a cup of, you know, like really warm water, not really too hot. Put some ginger and lemon essential oil and some Bragg's apple cider vinegar, right? I tend not to do the sweeteners. You get used to it without the sweetener. And it's a great way to just shift your pH and kind of empty out all of the cells that we cleaned up overnight. Remember, when you're sleeping, your body's doing this enormous cleanup job. So here's another one of my favorites, right? Pu'erh Tea is it's a fermented tea, and it's aged and it gets better with time, right? And so this is one of my favorite brands, but you can find any of them. Just, you know, you can Google it, right? But it's a high concentration of antioxidants, which helps clean out toxins and free radicals. helps create healthy gut bacteria. It helps you with heart health and cholesterol levels, bone, energy, cancer. Like, you know, just drinking things that are fermented are really good for the body on a normal basis. So what else can we do? So let's get into some more about, you know, activating. So we want to really help our digestive tract, right? And so peppermint, spearmint, these are really good. All the mints are really good for the digestive tract. It helps aid healthy digestion. It can be very stimulating and energizing, which is one of the goals that we're doing a detox, because we want to get a little bit more energy. We want to increase oxygen to the cells. And when we put oxygen on any cell, it's going to help that cell wherever it is, whether it's a blood cell, a brain cell, a bone cell, an immune cell. It's going to get better at what it does when it has more oxygen. So just, you know, apply the oils directly on the abdomen, right? If you're bloated or your discomfort increases, or you can just put it on the bottom of your feet. Both of these you can take internally, you know, and they're just really good. I love the peppermint soft gels for a really quick way to bring some relief to the digestive tract. And, you know, one of the side benefits is, you know, you have a little bit more mental clarity and alertness, right? We all need a little bit more energy and alertness throughout the day. So, you know, we want to reset the digestive tract, right? So we want to start clearing out toxins, right? So both of these, lemon and oregano, are great toxic cleansers. They help balance pH, and they're antibacterial, antiviral, antiseptic, anti-everything, right? And so essential oils help us to distinguish between cells that should be there and cells that shouldn't, right? Remember, they're a message carrying molecule. Well, they're intelligent messaging. And so they can differentiate their signaling based on the status of a cell. It's really cool science behind that. So take them internally, you know, put them in a capsule. If you're using the oregano, the lemon, you could just, you know, put in your diffuser or put it in each glass of water, which is super important, right? Hydration is the key, right? And so when you're dehydrated, your heart sends oxygen to your brain and your muscles at a much slower pace. So just drinking some more water is really going to be a good way for us to flush out toxins that are in our body and have better oxygenation, right? So add a citrus oil or even the peppermint to your water, right? Make that water taste really good. We also have, you know, we want to renew, right? So a lot of the spice oils, right? Ginger, fennel, basil, they soothe stomach upset just on a normal basis. It improves digestion. If you have some indigestion, these are great choices to grab. But overall, they're just going to help you maintain a healthy digestive system, right? You apply them to your abdomen, and you can take them internally, or even do what I do. I mean, I cook with them. You know, I add you know, a small amount to one of my recipes. Just amazing. But there's a lot of different oils that we can use that help with digestive support, no matter, you know, just the digestive tract and all those, you know, we were talking about the accessory organs and glands that participate, right? You name it, there is an oil for that. And then we get to our renew stage, right? And so, you know, we want to make sure we're taking a probiotic, right? And make sure that the one that you have is combined with prebiotic fiber, right? Kind of spreads a picnic blanket out of food that the probiotic will actually be able to eat. The one that I love is called PB Assist, if you notice, right? It's double encapsulated. It's a very unique and patented way of delivering the probiotics into the intestine so it doesn't get destroyed in the stomach, and creates prebiotic fiber, which is the food that it eats to help make it strong, so it implants itself into the walls of your digestive tract. Now, your outcome will match your effort, right? Whatever you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And so when I'm coaching somebody, I remind them, you know, you can do things minimally, right? Just do this at a minimum. Or this is our target, right? We really want to start modifying our diet and kind of cleaning out what's there. And, you know, if you do outrageous things, you will see outrageous results, right? And the basics is, right, healthy cells function better, right? So how do we create an environment where we have healthy cells, right? When you have an unhealthy cell, that cell membrane is hard and rigid, and like, even if you're eating good foods, they're not getting absorbed by the cell. And some of the waste isn't being able to get out, right? And so we want fuel to get in and waste to get out, right? And just imagine like your plumbing system. If you're not having good water come in and waste to get out, imagine what that would feel like. And so you have to create that condition here for your cells. And so taking a supplement that is in right balance, right, that the vitamins and minerals are in the right proportion that you need, that it's in the right format, that it's bioavailable to the body, and that it's combined with certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils, right, that instruct the cell on how to better absorb it, that help cleanse those receptor sites that are on the cell membrane. Like, it's just an amazing thing. And make sure it's easy on your stomach. And when you have the right combination, it's going to increase absorption, and you're going to end up having an amazing outcome, right? Better energy, better digestive function, immune function, like all of these things. Good nutrition supports these, right? We know that. And we also know that a lack of good nutrition cannot possibly support these benefits. So we also want to support those eliminating organs, right? The liver, the kidney, you know, the colon. Like, we want to make sure that we are helping to reduce, you know, like, they can be sluggish. Remember those cells that we saw at the very beginning, right? They can get sluggish, they can have free radical damage. And so we want to make sure that we kind of avoid these excessive inflammatory responses, which impairs their ability to function. And so things like clove, milk thistle, marshmallow root, dandelion, right? These are things that you could probably find, you know, in a field in your backyard, but they're really very good to help eliminate toxins from our organs. And so we look at like a whole schedule. You know, when I'm coaching someone, you have an actual checklist. Take this in the morning, this in the afternoon. You're going to take this one during phase 1. This is going to be in phase 2. And so, you know, whatever it is that you're looking to do, whether you just want some simple things to do or you want a full out 30-day program, you know, I'm happy to help you get started and, you know, guide you through it, you know, no cost. You know, I'm offering my services, you know, because I understand, you know, being a county worker during a pandemic has probably been challenging. And so I'm here to support you, right? Our success lies in the things that we choose to do every single day. So what will you do every day to help cleanse your body, right? If you would like some free samples or maybe a little bit more help, right? I put this in the chat, but if you just copy this link or just contact me, simply.natural@optimum.net, I'm here to help and would love for you to reach out and, you know, have me send you some stuff. You can also just connect with me. I'm on Eventbrite, Facebook, Instagram. I have a Vimeo channel. If you go to vimeo.com and just search for Simply Natural, I have, you know, workshops like this that have been recorded, and so you can learn a little bit, you know, just while you're driving or, you know, like in these little pockets of time. And, you know, we have some other events coming up that might be of interest to you. So Tuesday next week at 2 p.m., we're doing essential oils for family health. Thursday, we're doing essential oils for mental health and sleep. Next Friday, same time, 3 p.m., we're doing the science behind essential oils, right? We're just going to teach a little bit more about how does an essential oil deliver these therapeutic results. And then next Thursday, Actually, Thursday is at 7. I'm sorry, this is not at 12. We're going to be doing essential oils for immune support. And so I hope you are able to join us, and you know, it would be really nice to connect with you, and I'm here to help. So does anybody have any questions before we close the meeting?